Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the time and space. Welcome to the gathering. A breath, a settling, a gift received. An in-breath and an out-breath. And the knowing. This knowing. A gathering and a collecting. Or attention. Experience received. Attention given. The breath received. Released. In this moment. This time, this space. This knowing. The body. The impulses towards or away. The tone of the heart. Scattered. Collected. Tight. Or bright. Cloudy. Muddled. Clear. as it is. The body settling, the interest, and the ease in that interest. And trusting that the impulses and habits of the heart will settle. And the spaces, the context, the ending, in the knowing. This knowing this time, this space. And the knowing known. Alive, alive to life. Released, alert, not fooling, not interfering, not getting, gaining, getting rid of, or shutting down. The containment, contained in this time, this space. this experience. It's like this. This is it. This is the moment. This is the time. This is the space. This is the knowing, known. And stillness allows a clear appreciation, a clear discernment, the impulses, and the knowing allows them and contains, disarms the pushing, the pulling, the habits, the gift of attention returns them to their nature. returns life to life. Frees and let go, lets go, releases. Uncomplicates, untangles. Relinquishes. There are a couple of chants, a couple of reflections, and a couple of exercises that in the regular chanting books and used. And this is that mention karma. The one is the 5 reflections for frequent recollection by everybody. I am of the nature to age, I have not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to sicken, I have not gone beyond sickness. I am of the nature to die, I have not gone beyond dying. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, born of my karma, related to my karma, abide supported by my karma. Whatever karma I shall do, for good or for ill, of that I will be the heir. And this is, if you think of yourself as a being and as a person, then this is a really good reflection. And I was talking about karma being impersonal. But if you take it personally, that's what's going to happen. And that's the nature of it. It's a clinging stickiness to it. And that's why the karma that leads to the end of karma is the important one. That's the practice of the Eightfold Path. The recognition of the and realization of the relationship to stress, the cause, to the end, and to the path that ennobles life and gives it value and makes it worthwhile. So that's the way that karma can be taken personally, and that's why we cling too much to this idea that I am of the nature to age. The I is always going to be of the nature to age, because it's a shifting, unstable, unsatisfactory business. This I creating, this me creating, this mine attaching. This is always going to be of the nature to age, to sicken, and to die, and there'll always be separation because that's its nature. If we keep making an I, then this is what's going to happen. So that's the encouragement in this reflection. It's not to somehow make one depressed. It's to encourage one to consider. And if we're going to use this strange experience of time and space, use it honestly. Admit clearly. Acknowledge what is happening, what has happened in this experience of time and space, as much as it is believed in and is conventionally true. Because teaching of Buddhism is not a denial of self. It's not some sort of way of saying, I don't exist. Because that's really confusing. But the I that we find here now, relating to it in a way that gives it nobility and value, because this is what's happening. It's subject to all sorts of fragilities. The other one that is the other reflection is, may I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May all beings abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety. That's the basic reflection on not dwelling in aversion. That's the basic practice of not dwelling in aversion, not dwelling in a sense of I don't like myself. I don't like bits about myself. I don't like bits about other people. That's called dwelling in aversion. It's called pushing away. It's called feeling inadequate. Feeling I can't cope with this. I can't stand this. And it'll feed greed and it'll feed hatred. So metta, when it works well, it's radiant. It's bright. Now the next line is, may all beings be released from all suffering. That's the encouragement to actually do something. The way of compassion is to do something to relieve suffering now and in the present. And it requires wisdom to figure out what to do. It requires discretion, discrimination, and in the sense of wise, discerning. This is what is helpful, and this is what's not helpful. This is going to help, and this is not going to help. And it requires humility, because there's going to be mistakes and errors that need correction and adjustment, which is a quality of compassion, an admission of mistake, the willingness to try to do something to correct it, and noticing of what's not quite right, but not dwelling in aversion, but actually figuring out what to do to correct it. This is the nature of compassion for oneself and for others. May all beings be released from all suffering. And part of this is also the compassion to not take the whole thing personally. It's not a problem. It's really, it belongs to nature. Because may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. No, that's the reflection of appreciation. All beings, may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. That's the joy. That's the appreciation. That's the rejoicing in good fortune, whatever it may be, whatever blessings may be. May they not be parted from those blessings through their own actions or through the actions of others. May they not curse themselves by messing up. May they not mess up others or get jealous or envious. Because in getting jealous and envious, of course, they mess up their own good fortune, because they, again, get caught in senses of inadequacy or aversion. The pushing and pulling, the unable to appreciate and give life to life. Because all beings are the owners of their karma, heirs to their karma, born of their karma, related to their karma, and abide supported by their karma. Whatever karma they shall do, for good or for ill, of that they will be the heir. That's the next reflection of this collection. The reflection on the 4 Brahma Viharas. Again, that last one is about upekkha. You have metta. May I abide in well-being. May all beings abide in well-being. Karuna, may all beings be released from all suffering. Released. A sense of release. Of letting go. Of not being imprisoned. Tied down. Weighed down. and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. Because all that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. So careful with the good fortune that you've received. And use it wisely, because we're the owners of our karma, heirs to our karma, born of our karma, related to our karma, abide supported by our karma. Now, in the practice of the Dhamma, the practice of the Eightfold Path, in supporting that, it will support one. It will support the release. Practice karma that leads to the end of karma. Practice the Eightfold Path. Practice the reflection of the assumptions of one's life, of the volition in one's life, of the resolve in one's life, in this fragile business. Because it's not personal. You've got those two quite personal reflections, and they seem like, they're making ultimate statements about the nature of reality. They're not. They're just reflections. Because, that naturally when the heart is freed, those qualities are what are expressed. The metta sahakatena cetasa. I abide spreading loving kindness above the four quarters, below, upwards, downwards, and all around. I abide spreading compassion upwards, downwards, to the four quarters, up and down, everywhere, immeasurable. I abide spreading joy upwards, downwards, and all around, immeasurable, abundant. I abide in equanimity, upwards, downwards, all about. That's a description of the citta freed, the citta released, the knowing unbounded. That's how I reflect on it. It's not an injunction. It's not a command. So it's using these things that we can dwell in, which is part of samma vayama, which is dwelling in the Dhamma, the heart dwelling in the Dhamma, reflecting on the Dhamma. This is a practice. Because may all beings be released from all suffering includes this one. Figure out the best way for this one. To not take it too personally, to be as honest, upright, and clear as possible. And recognizing that there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be errors. And admitting them and doing your best. That's the encouragement. Because the way things with causes and conditions work is not personal. It doesn't, at some level, really care. It's not like it's not trying to get you. It doesn't really worry about you personally. It's just how nature is. That's why walking in nature is so wonderful, because the recognition of there's the sense of me being so important. What I want being so terribly important that I have to somehow be the most important, or you have to be the most important for me. That's a sure sign that there's going to be a lot of stress around. Because there's always going to be the sort of, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to be so important. Maybe something will frustrate me. Well, I tell you it will. So, all that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. This is the nature, and the practice and reflecting on this. And giving the whole thing a chance to unravel a bit, uncomplicate itself a bit, not entangle itself so much with hopes and fears. Maybe I'll never if only, then, this sort of thing. It doesn't help. It doesn't help anything. And do the best one can. Figure it out. It's not much. Not much. It's just this thing of this body, these impulses, these habits, this little interference, a sense of the sense of I is an irritation and an interference in the universe. It's just a muddling along. Because when humans actually function, with that in their design, what they can do is just, the possibility is happiness. That's what life really seeks. And the sense of I importance frustrates that. Happiness is just a source of frustration. Because what I want out of it is just going to always be a frustration, either to me or to others. Because there's always going to be that conflict. Because I is such a narrowing. Such a binding up and an entangling. I entangled with you. I entangled with this, with that. There's no release. No ease. No, I want to get rid of all this entanglement. It's just going to make it worse, isn't it? It's like this. It's like this. Well, the speech, the actions, the livelihood, the effort that is made, and the attention that can be offered, the fullness of attention that can be offered. To do the best that can be done in this moment. And within that, within what is happening, within the limitations of this moment and the frustrations of this moment, what's the best that can happen? And I don't know. Because in one level the eye can not know. It just knows this limitation. It's not for sure. Anything that says that I know for sure is always going to be wrong. Doing the best we can in this strange drama that we create, we believe in, take so personally, so seriously. Just keep going. One breath released, one breath received. The letting go, or a release of life. So let it do its own thing in accordance with the Dhamma. And the practice of if there's any sense of me and mine, practice the Eightfold Path. And then that reflecting on the Four Noble Truths, reflecting on the beauty and the peace. That's an ease in this moment, release in this moment. It's not a gaining or a getting. It's not I am getting enlightened. Because then I was going to be frustrated the whole time. I'm going to try and get enlightened. I want to get this. Chasing mirages, chasing perceptions, which are mirages. Sanya is like a mirage. Form is like foam on the sea. Feelings are like bubbles floating on the top of water on a rainy day. The whole collection of tightness around this sense of self, which is sankharas, is just a plantain tree or a banana tree, which just keep peeling, an onion that has no solid core. This strange separation, which is sense consciousness. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's an artifice. It's a magician's trick. It's not even real magic. It's a conjuring trick. Real magic is chitta niyama, which is transformative. But a conjuring trick is just a trick. The ways that form, feeling, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana are described, or like similes for form, feeling, perception, conception, and consciousness. foam on the sea, foam, a bubble of water that skids around on the top of another, on a puddle, and then just pop. Yeah. It's the feeling. Really not very much. And these perceptions that are like a conjuring trick, no, like a mirage. Perception, sanya, are like a mirage. There's a sense of it's just there, but it's not. It's not really. It's just a mirage. And sankhara, empty, peeled away, peeled away, peeled away. Like a banana tree, has no core. Consciousness, a conjuring trick. And this whole sense of I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, born of my karma, related to my karma, abide supported by my karma, whatever karma I shall do, for good or for ill, of that I will be the heir. That works as a perception, as a mirage, if it encourages the practice of the Eightfold Path. Encourages knowing the heart knowing the heart knowing the heart. What is happening here? What is this awareness? How is it now? That's what it's about. And then to worry about all beings are the owners of their karma, heirs to their karma, born of their karma, related to their karma, abide supported by their karma, whatever karma they shall do for good or for ill, of that they will be the heir. That's just how it is for the whole business of self and self-importance. And it's not personal, it's just a description of a mechanism, a part of the causality that humans have. The human form has the greatest power over intentions. Intentions. That's where the karma is created. And it's not yours. It's not mine. Like gravity, it's not yours or mine. It's part of the bundle. It has no solid, separate reality. It's just part of the whole business of causality. If there is time and space, this is one of the ways that it works in. But time and space itself is an abstraction, simplification. So I hope that that's a little bit helpful and an encouragement to relate to the mirage of karma in a way that might help, allows there to be less suffering now and in the future. And if it's not any good and just deeply confusing, then don't listen to it again and find some other way of figuring how to lead your life. Just let it go. I apologize if it's been confusing and hope that it might have been some help to some people. Thank you. If you have questions, please type them for everyone, or cut and paste them if you've already prepared them. And by all means, turn on your cameras. It's not. I think that I'm spotlighted, but I think that if you want to turn on your cameras, you're welcome. But not your microphones yet. Thank you. Do you have enough time to breathe? working for a salary takes away a lot of my time. I don't have enough time to practice the Dhamma. Very short shift on that. Come on. If you've been reading anything about Ajahn Chah, you would know that one. It's not. Any complaints about not having enough time to practice the Dhamma are dismissed. Sorry. It's not my idea either. Don't worry about it. Just every breath. Invest attention in every breath and get a good return. As the Yellow Pages said the other day. It's all right. And just keep going. That's where Samvega, spiritual urgency. That's it's like the only time you've got is now. That's the only time and place that you've got is now. Now, whatever you're doing, this is the time and space. Wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, however you're listening to this is what you've got. This is where unbounded joy can be experienced. This is where unbounded compassion, limitless compassion can be experienced. This is where unbounded sense of acceptance can be experienced. And this is where an unbounded, an abundant sense of acceptance of the limitation and serenity can be experienced. This is where it is. There's nothing. This is what you've got to do, and this is where it's urgent. What do you do with that one? Only by having samadhi can one see through upadana. That's an opinion. If it works for you, then, and it encourages you to be more collected, then that's a great opinion, a way to use it. If you keep saying to yourself, I don't have enough samadhi, so I can't see through any upadana, then the upadana is right in front of you. I want more samadhi. So, or the clinging to the idea that I don't have enough samadhi. That's what's happening. Is it hard to have metta both towards animals and humans that are not likable? It's not. Metta is not dwelling in aversion. It's not liking things. People mistake the idea that you have to like things for the practice of metta, or the practice of metta implies liking something. It's nothing to do with liking or disliking. It's nothing to do with liking or disliking. Metta is about just not dwelling in aversion. If you're going to get into liking something, then you're going to be worried that when it goes, you're going to be disappointed. So you've already messed yourself up. It's not a matter of liking or disliking things. It's about not dwelling in aversion. It's about allowing things to be as they are. It's about not rejecting. And if you like something, then you're going to reject the time when it becomes too much or when it goes away. You're going to get disappointed. You like somebody and then you don't like somebody. You feel you don't like somebody, and then you get frustrated because maybe you do like some aspects about them. So, no, it's nothing about liking or disliking. It's about not dwelling in aversion to yourself or to others. And what's the difference between vijnana and awareness? They're both words. One's a Pali word and one's an English word. And then, sorry to be flippant, but vijnana is the quality that both joins and separates. And the vijnana as an element is what makes all the others possible. It's the quality of presence. It allows things to be present. And in the sense of sense consciousness, it's the presence that both divides and joins. But consciousness itself as an element, as one of the six elements, is what allows time and space and the whole business of earth, water, fire, and air, earth, fire, water, and air to have being. It's what makes the whole thing present. Yeah, metta implies letting go. It's not I have metta for you. It's that's more karuna. It's maybe more personal, and that requires wisdom. It's karuna is about relieving suffering now and in the present, and in the future. Now in the present and in the future, karuna is about actually doing something. Yeah. I'm not suggesting you feed your body to the mosquitoes, Francisco. Can you explain the meaning of the story when the Buddha gave his body to the hungry tiger to save the tiger's cubs? It's a story. It's part of the Jataka stories. It's a story. How you use those stories, I don't know. It's part of those Jataka stories. It was the Bodhisattva rather than the Buddha. It's one of the practices. It's like the sense of how personally do you take this, and recognizing that your body is just the body. It will go back to nature, either as fire, water, earth, air, and four elements will just go back to where they came from. That's what they do, in whatever way that the Utu Niyama and the Bija Niyama work. That's the way that it'll go. It's the way that things go. There's the sense of what it's a story. How can we free ourselves from the self? I can't free myself from my sense of self. That's a contradiction in terms. I freeing myself of a sense of self. It's what I can do is not take the whole thing too seriously, or not take it too personally, and just try to see how this thing can work the best it can. Yeah, the intentional radiation of metta to ourselves, to teachers, our loved ones, neutral people, difficult people. That's a practice, END. It's something that we can do as a practice, and noticing how what one notices when one practices metta is where there's no metta. I used to get very, very irritated by this Ajahn that used to say, "Well, now all practice metta together and radiate kindness throughout the whole world." And when they used to do that, I used to go, "No, my heart, this is ridiculous." And I thought I was doing something wrong. But the practice of metta, if it doesn't, if it works well, it leads to liberation. So this practice of spreading the idea of consciously trying to spread metta to our teachers, loved ones, neutral people, difficult people, and all beings everywhere and ourselves. It's an exercise to notice where that sense of not dwelling in aversion is blocked. And that produces insight, because there's notices that sense of aversion is not permanent, it's not personal, it's just something arising dependent upon conditions. And when the conditions are not there, it disappears. So the practice of metta is a way of developing insight. That's what it really works as. The story of Sharon Salzberg, who was taught by, she did this, I think, for a few months, I think. She was told to practice this, sending metta to the 10 directions, or to the four people, the person she really respected, the person she really didn't know anything about her enemy and somebody and herself. Okay, and then her teacher asked her, he said, imagine this: you have been captured by a group of bandits, and you have yourself, your best friend, your enemy, and somebody you don't know. One of you has to die so the rest can go. Who do you choose? Sharon was given this task and to tell the teacher, who do you choose? And she couldn't give an answer. She couldn't give an answer. I don't know. And so she was sent out of the room. She later realized she'd given the right answer. Because all four were completely equal. That's why you do this exercise. So you notice where you're dwelling in aversion. It's an exercise to notice. It's an exercise to develop insight, and not to worry about whether the metta actually reaches your teacher, your best, most your person you don't know, the person you hate, and yourself. Don't worry about that, because automatically a heart free from delusion ceases to take things personally. That's the description. This is a direct message, which is not what I encouraged. So when I have Sangvega and the time I have is only now, does this mean I should go right ahead and retire from work and move to the monastery to practice? No. Get on with your job. Look after your parents. And do a sensible thing. And stop wasting your time fantasizing about the future. It's not going to help. Get on with what you need to do in the present and use whatever you're doing to practice now.